Hello and welcome back to another episode of the News You Missed Weekly Recap. This is the video game news show that recaps all the major happenings in video game news that you might have missed and gets you caught up instantly so that if you missed any of these news stories, you won't miss out. Click subscribe, come back each week, and get caught up so you're in the loop. Ladies and gentlemen, I just suggest that you follow me on my socials, Discord, Twitter, and you can support me directly on Patreon if you want to. But other than that, it's getting close to E3 week, so most major news stories are going to be hush-hush and put a cap on until E3 actually does come around. But there's still some pretty big news stories to discuss, so I want to jump right into it. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, will grace the Nintendo Switch this fall. And there's also been rumors that this is going to end up being a multi-platform game that is also going to arrive on many other systems. Apparently, the remastered version here is listed for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC also, but it is confirmed for the Nintendo Switch according to Nintendo Life here, with the story again featured in the description below. So EA Originals announces 3 more titles, including another from a way out developer. It's EA. Who cares about EA? Maybe there's some people out there that enjoy EA, but I don't know. From Zoink Games, it's an action fantasy called Lost and Random set in a dark world. Yeah, okay, alright, that's fine, whatever. You know, we've got all these details on this story, but at the end of the day, I'm not really excited for it because it's once again EA. EA has destroyed so many game franchises and companies that I really don't care. They could introduce 100 games. They could come out with their own game console. And again, I would still be extremely leery as to buy those things because of the numerous microtransactions that they might put in there. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Apparently, there's also a game called Restart. It's co-op action RPG from a mobile developer, Glow made. I guess they've made Wonder Worlds featuring Handmade Robot Buddy. And finally, they're publishing way out developer Hazel Light, I guess. Okay, this is not exciting stuff for me, but it's a big thing that's coming around because again, EA had their own conference and didn't feel like going into E3. So there's that. Get you caught up on that. Just 3 new games coming out for EA. Star Wars Jedi's Fallen Order Special Edition and pre-order bonuses have been listed. Once again, you're going to be able to receive unique cosmetic content as per the usual. Basically, it just changes colorations. You get digital art book, you get some lightsaber hilts and custom designs and the way the lightsaber looks as well, bronze color, things like that. This is going to be available 11/15/19, so that's good. Again, if you guys are interested in that, obviously you're going to pre-order anyways. I think it's pretty cool. Can't wait to see this, and I'm excited to see what they have done with this game because there's already some gameplay footage out there of it. It's nothing too major, and it seems like a single-player based game, but we'll have to see at the end of the day what it's really going to be when it comes out, because there's been plenty of times where EA has baited and switched. Destroy All Humans has been confirmed as a remake, coming out for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Sorry, Switch owners, I guess you're still going to have to wait. That's going to be 2020 though, and that's THQ. That's one of the games that was teased as a leak, so I'm excited for that. Destroy All Humans is an excellent, fun game that was released way back when during the PlayStation 2 era. So if you've never played it, trust me, it's well worth the time to take to get invested into this game. Shameless, fun, just an all-round great game to play. Releasing Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC would have, quote-unquote, no downside, Take-Two CEO says. Yeah, well, I mean, they did do a pretty good job with Grand Theft Auto 5 as well. PC release, it took them a long time. Boy, did it take them a long time, but when it did finally come out, it wasn't that bad. The online service was. Yeah, it was pretty bad on consoles and even on PC for a while, but they got it right. They got it fixed. So I think that what he says is absolutely true. Being able to tweak with the settings, getting users to create solutions to problems that they themselves might not be able to fix on console. Yeah, I agree with him 100%. There is no downside to releasing a game on PC. Even if it's a terrible, terrible port and you can't figure it out, at least you could be honest with the community and say, hey, we need you to fix this stuff. But they seem to have a pretty good grip on it. So yeah, no downside. Can't wait to play it on PC. Speaking of new games coming out to different systems, there's a Yooka-Laylee 2D platformer sequel announced. It's very much like the Donkey Kong Country stylings that Rare also created. It's funny, they went straight to the Banjo-Kazooie-esque type gameplay, and then backwards to the Donkey Kong Country type of gameplay. So yeah, this is cool. Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is what it's called. So look out for that. Destiny 2 Season of Opulence. First impressions, Destiny 2 had a huge update to where you can get all kinds of new stuff. This is kind of something that you might be interested in. There's a lot to it. You get to speak to the Emperor of the Cabal. You get to deal with that a lot more. Again, is it anything absolutely major? Not really. It increases your light level. You get more gear. You get all kinds of stuff. There's new activities. There's a new raid experience as well, which isn't terribly bad. But at the end of the day, it's just more and more content that you may or may not be able to complete. There's tons of cosmetically updated items to get, and it's basically similar to a lot of the other things that they've been doing with Destiny 2. But that's not all, because Destiny 2's Shadowkeep expansion takes you back to the moon in September. I can't hit all of these points, so again, I would strongly suggest take the link in the description below. But Eris Morn is back, so that is a great thing. And I suppose we'll be taking down Crota unless Crota is actually dead in canon, which is debatable because a lot of people are claiming Destiny 2 retcon Destiny 1. Is Destiny 1 retconned, or is Destiny 2 forging a new path and Crota will be alive? You tell me. Anyways, a lot of people have these arguments. I guess we'll see when the DLC releases, right? Destiny 2 is adding cross-save, moving from Battle.net to Steam and Stadia on PC. This would have been nice when, you know, I spent so much time on Destiny 1. Maybe you could have just recognized that when I moved over to PC. I don't know. Could you have, Bungie? Obviously not, because you didn't. Thanks. Yeah, to say this company will respect my save and will cross-save it, I'm not really trusting it. In Bungie, I do not trust, because they didn't do it before, and I lost tons of time. At the end of the day, I would have really liked to have been able to take my Destiny 2 save on my Xbox One and push it over to PC, but they didn't let me do that either. So once again, hopefully this actually does allow that on the consoles in the future, free of charge. I don't know. We'll see. Apparently, it's going to have a lot to deal with the free-to-play version, which is Destiny 2 New Light. I don't know. It's a free-to-play version of Destiny 2 with all kinds of Destiny 2 content, and I guess you get to play it without actually having to pay all of that money for the DLC that you previously paid. What's the point of that? Well, you get the base game, several DLC experiences, because those experiences are no longer relevant. You can't play the vanilla Destiny 2 right now and hope to compete with what the DLC is at right now. The vanilla Destiny had you at around 300 to 400 light, so going against someone who's at 700 light would be a very bad time, and you won't be able to join in raids or the future DLCs coming off of the vanilla experience. It's not relevant. So that's why I think they're allowing you to play it for free. Anyways, more details in the description below. JRPG publisher removes producer from new games credits because she left the company. Yeah, that's right. So apparently there's a person named Brittany Every in Exceed Games. She had a very leading contributing position to translating a game, and they removed her name off the credits because she's no longer with the company. Like, if somebody translated a book and then you took their name off the translation, like, hey man, this person did this. So, I don't know, how do you feel about that? You let me know in the comments down below, I'd greatly appreciate that. Finally, I want to close on Stadia being announced and its download speed requirements. Its internet speed requirements, the price. The Founders Edition is $129 and requires you to get this special Google Chromecast Plus type of thing. You might have seen it in the stores, but this is a little bit different, a little kind of newer. Google is obviously pushing this to try and get it in people's homes to replace a lot of set-top boxes like Xbox Ones, PlayStation 4s, Nintendo Switches, or other devices that they might have just hooked up to their TV. Like, you know, hey, look, we got this all-encompassing service right here. You can play video games on it, you can watch movies on it, you can watch YouTube on it, Twitch, whatever you want. It's really, really sweet. Good idea. They want to obviously monopolize the market. Will it happen? Probably not. I do have to talk about the details with Stadia being released. Stadia will use 1 terabyte of data every 65 hours of 4K gaming. So to play 4K gaming, you have to have a steady 35 megabyte connection of being able to download 35 megabytes. It's not that good to have. That's pretty expensive internet, especially when you get into rural areas. But then you have to think to yourself, how well are rural areas going to work out, and how well are you going to have those consistent internet speeds in those rural areas? It's a good question, it really is, because you're paying for this service and you're not even physically owning any of the games. You're not being able to play these games technically offline because it's kind of an online connective service. So then at the end of the day, what happens when there's a Google outage? Because there recently was one and people couldn't even get in their smart homes. Yes, their smart locks would not unlock for several hours because there was Google outage. Repeats itself over and over and over again. When you buy into things like OnLive, where you have this service that seems great on paper, but in practice, you physically own nothing, and you are reliant on the internet service providers. Hopefully, you don't have a data cap of any sort, because there's plenty of places that also have data caps. And in rural areas, good luck getting 35 megabytes down with satellite service, stuff like that. I know plenty of people who are stuck at 10 down. This is just how it is. So, yeah, you're kind of isolating your audience there, Google. The world is not filled with tech enthusiasts. America is a shining light, but a good chunk of America is still country-based. It's just how it is, and that's how I see it. So let me know if you're in a rural area or if you're going to be buying into Google Stadia. You could get the Founders Edition. It might end up just being like the Ouya's Founders Edition. Yeah, it's great. You have your name etched on the side of the Ouya, but who's playing it in 2019? Yeah, the thing was discontinued, so sorry about your luck. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this week's News You Missed Recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can show me some love by liking and sharing the video, because liking and sharing the video is absolutely free. As for me, I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming, God bless, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode.